Okay, right.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, welcome back everyone to the Career Gossip podcast. After a
Yo.
brief hiatus, this is episode 28. If you haven't caught our last interview that I did with Legal, the pissed off lawyer, I
Yeah.
suggest you go and watch that. But today, obviously, you can only see me. That's because of Max's current situation, and so until that is sorted out, this will have to do. So I hope you
I should
can,
I should be at my boyfriend's place next week, so it should be.
yeah. But yeah. So in today, I'm sure you'll still be able to see the articles, so it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, we're gonna talk about a few things. So
Yeah.
um. if so let me just um open my browser. Um
There was some shit that's been going down for like the last 2 weeks that I haven't been like
um
around for. Um, that was a good that was a good interview. It was weird to hear one of our guests be allowed to speak without me like constantly speaking over them. Uh,
yeah. um no, it was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
it
Yeah,
would have been yeah,
he
it
seems
would have
like a cool
been,
dude.
yeah. Hopefully we can have him back on. It'll probably won't be until um probably the same time next year, because obviously he's very busy.
Yeah.
So, but we'll have him on again.
Yeah,
So, um, like,
it's
so
cool. What have you been up
application,
to?
nothing much, just the same old usual stuff.
Yeah,
Um, well, I say getting embroiled, but the same old stuff that happens on Twitter. Um,
yeah. It is the worst place to live. Fucking
yeah.
hellhole. I love
Um,
it.
yeah. Um, right. The first article.
Yeah.
Um, the tagline is trans children could be forced
Fuck.
to medically transition under leaked NHS England plans.
D d you're really trying hard to become the worst fucking country alive, aren't you? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, well, it's not hard when you've got a shit government.
No, no, no.
Um,
So this seems like a fucking terrible idea.
yeah, 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 absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Leaked NHS England plans suggest thousands of trans children may be left with no choice but to medically detransition or face safeguarding referrals. The
Fuck.
documents leaked by the Good Law Project and reported by QF state that young people and their families who use unregulated and overseas providers for gender affirming care should cease doing so, or they may face safeguarding referrals.
Why? I want a fucking explanation from the this.
Speaking with Career F, Joe Moham, KC, Executive Director of the Good Law Project, said, excuse me, it's reasonable to describe this as an attempt to force people do to detransition. You think?
Good, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. The document, which the Good Law Project states, does not bear the name of any NHS professional ask providers of mental health support to children and young people, CYP, to invite those on the national waiting list for gender services for a face-to-face appointment. Yeah, that's if you can get one. And if you're
Yeah.
fortunate enough in getting on the list, you're waiting 5 years at least.
Yeah, like you're fucked.
Yeah. We request all CYP who have been allocated to your service for mental health review are assessed as soon as possible, is what providers are told, with one group asked to be reviewed and or assessed by 30th of June 2024, just 8 weeks from now.
Huh.
Like seriously, like with everything that's going on, I mean, we've currently got the run up to the election, which is
Yeah.
on July. It's in early July anyway. And so
Good to have that shit over with.
yeah,
That's
um,
when all fun starts.
yeah. Healthcare providers are then asked to send a gender experience summary form to patients to gather whether they and their families are receiving support from the private sector or from abroad, such as hormone treatment.
Oh, fucking hell. Fuck you, people. Oh, God.
They're also,
This
they're
is going to be a
also,
shit show.
yeah, they're also trying to ban puberty blockers as well.
Yeah, of course they are, because why the fuck not?
Yeah,
Like, do the hat trick.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, the
this is
doc,
like, remember,
it's
remember we read bits
yeah.
from the cast report, and it was like no puberty blockers for those under the age of 25.
Oh yeah,
That's still the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
yeah, same here. And it's like, you know, do they not realize that, puberty blockers are used by cis girls as well and have been for years?
Yeah,
They're just doing this because, you know,
yeah.
they're on the train of hate trans people. It's like, whatever. Um,
They hate trans people for such weird reasons.
yeah, yeah, it's like, I'm,
At
I'm,
least
yeah, it's like
the good reasons.
yeah, it's like I'm glad that you, obviously for a very good reason, haven't been as active as you normally are
Yeah,
because it's been a shit show per
yeah,
usual on Twitter with the turfs and transphobes going nuts. Or
yeah.
nothing. The documents recognize many young trans people will have used unregulated providers or unregulated sources to access hormones and named one service, Gender GP.
I think the answer to this is like make it is like I'm sorry if a bunch of people if a bunch of people were like stealing cancer medication or stuff or like getting like fucking insulin shipped from overseas because it was cheaper or that was the only way they could get it and they needed to survive, I would personally say that it's a problem with the law that makes that happen, not making it available to them. But then again, you can also be a piece of shit and not think that. That's fine with me. Like, not fine. I don't want people to be pieces of shit, but they are.
Yeah, and that's all it boils down to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it said it is the largest provider of private gender affirming prescription cases, and because it is registered overseas, it is therefore outside the reach of the UK health regulators.
Yeah.
Furthermore, at the assessment stage, the providers have been asked to follow recommendations of the CAS review, which
Fuck
has
you.
been and advise children to not take puberty blockers or gender-affirming hormones obtained via routes without appropriate care. Well, maybe if they were able to access appropriate fucking care, they wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do this. This is the same thing that happened to women
Yeah.
during the 40s, 50s, where they couldn't access abortion. So what happened? They did
Yeah.
abortions illegally.
Yeah. Like there are certain things that, like when they've done a crime, all you do is make it like dangerous, and this is one of them. And like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying that. By the way, anyone listening, no, it's not dangerous to buy hormones that way. You can absolutely do it. Don't worry. Just make sure you know what you're doing. But like, it becomes a black market, and a black market is like per definition less safe than a not non-black market. Like, and that's what happens. Like when you regulate these kinds of, like when you regulate against this kind of shit. Like, give them the proper care instead. Don't let them die. Am I weirdly subdued? I feel like I'm weirdly subdued, like in a
No,
good way.
no, you're fine.
Maybe
No,
it's
you're
just that I'm
fine.
not shouting.
Yeah, probably. Um, whilst it is not stated what appropriate care refers to, they never actually state what that means anyway. To the overseas,
Conversion therapy.
yeah, routes being advised against. If a trans, if a trans young person, that shouldn't that be if a young trans person, anyway, disregards such advice,
Yeah, you really should.
and the provider considers that this puts the child slash young person at increased risk, then then a safeguarding referral may also be appropriate, in line with the standard safeguarding approaches. In essence, if a trans young person, that same fucking line again, seeks private gender affirming care and their parents support them, they could be referred to local authorities.
Anyone who would do that, fuck off.
Yeah, it seems to
Uh,
us and to those inside the NHS who have leaked the document to us that what purports to be an assessment, in fact, an exercise in bringing very significant pressure to bear on trans youth and their families to cease private treatment, backed up with a threat of safeguarding referral to social services if they do not. The Good Law Project wrote in a press release, in a statement provided to Career F, following the publication of its report, a spokesperson for the NHS said that this process is about putting in place an enhanced mental health support offer for all children and young people under 18 on the waiting list for specialist gender services who
yeah.
are awaiting their first appointment with the new services. They added the patients will be given the choice whether they wish to take up this support offer, and whatever the outcome of their appointment with a mental health professional, their place on the waiting list for the gender service will not be affected. Yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see until you fuck it up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the good old NHS. Like, now don't get me wrong, like NHS has done a lot for this country, offering free healthcare.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna knock them, but this is not a good look.
No. No, like Sweden, like same thing. Sweden has good like nationalized healthcare. The trans care is still fucking atrocious. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, certain things we are uh like so fucking bad that I don't want to set my foot in it because like it has bad effect bad effects on people that I really fucking can't afford.
yeah. Um, okay, I'll go back to that camera because for some reason my normal camera is not turning on, not turned on. So anyway, but
Yes.
yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. It's it's like it's like does this world really want to burn itself? This shit. I guess it does.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it seems fucking desperate too, doesn't
yeah.
it?
Um, I thought, let's try and look for some positives, but
That's
um,
fucking that's that's hard. It's hard. I can say one positive news in that it's news regarding one trans person, me, which is that like I'm doing my last week of work this week. So yesterday's my tomorrow is my last day at work for the summer, which is fucking finally. Um, and but I've been doing a summer school program, which means that I haven't done like the regular teacher shit when the students are fucked off. Instead, I've been teaching one student. I've had one student. I get double the pay this week.
Oh, that's good.
It's so fuck, it's so fucking great. It's the best. I want to do this all the time.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Uh, get double the pay. Like, awesome.
Yeah,
Like, at
there's also a
least,
student who where the problem is that he hasn't been in the fucking classroom for ages, which means that he gets it. He just needs to like have it explained to him. So it's really fucking easy as well to get him to like pass finally.
yeah. No, that's awesome. How's it? How's it been trying to move everything around?
Yeah, well, that's a shit show. I've finally signed like I've found a place that I can move into in a couple of weeks. The coming 2 weeks, I'll be staying with my boyfriend, and then I don't know, like I've been staying with my best friend's aunt for the last 2 weeks, and like then I'll have like a few weeks of maybe Tinder bed hopping and stuff. We'll see exactly what'll happen, how it'll play out. But it's been like genuinely couldn't have done it without boyfriend and like best friend. Like they were the ones who made sure because I've had such a shit like half year that it kind of broke me when I found out that I was like, okay, for anyone who's not included in this, who hasn't like been told, I'm currently homeless. So that's fun. I found this out with 1.5 weeks of notice, which means I had like 9 days to get my fucking deal in order. Um, that sucked ass. And now I've been like kind of trying to find a place to fucking live. It's it happening when it did, when I have like grading work and like needs a proper place to be and like needs to be able to think. Yeah, that can fuck right off. but
Yeah,
but like uh,
yeah. That's
I I'm lucky in that
yeah,
I have an extremely large like support network, and I have great people helping me, and I, in general, um, don't have that much attachment to things, so I can easily just toss it away and move on. Like it's and I've been picking up drawing, so that's fun.
yeah. That's awesome that you've got a support network. But surely, like, because obviously I don't know what the laws are in Sweden
Oh
when
yeah,
renting. But
that's because like
surely they should give you at least a month's notice.
oh yeah, here's the fun thing, because like this happened because we knew that the lease was like closing and that we couldn't renew it. Uh, so we acted in order for me to like become a part owner of the apartment because we did this because we did this thing. The lease was like they had informed us that the lease was over. What they didn't inform us was that they wouldn't accept a buy-in, basically, which is what they did. They like the group that runs the fucking housing there. They didn't expect that. They didn't expect me buying it. They didn't accept me buying into the contract. And this we found out 1.5 week before I had to move out because that was like when the lease expired, and I had known that the lease was expiring. That's why we did this so that I wouldn't have to move out. It's just that we had no fucking clue that they would say no to this because we didn't expect that. So it's like because we did everything appropriately, I got fucked over.
Why?
Um,
What is it with fucking landlords and
yeah,
renting? Like,
yeah. But like, but it's cool. Like,
mm,
I'll manage, and I have but yeah, it sucked. It's if like there was like I was at my boyfriend this weekend, and it was like the first time I actually had the time to like sit down and like rest. Not that I haven't been like I spent 3 days in a fucking vegetative state when I found out about this. I've been shit. Like without my boyfriend packing stuff up, this it wouldn't have happened. I was done. It's been so much shit going on like earlier this year that I kind of like just tossed in the towel right then and there, but he helped me through it. But the but yeah, it was uh but like on Saturday, I finally had time to like, I sat down, I rested, I was at my boyfriend's, and then I just started crying for like 15 to 20 minutes uncontrollably. And after that, I was kind of fine. But like, that was weird. That was a weird thing that happened to me. And just like realizing that, like, how easy it is to, like, if I was a bit less lucky, I would have been fucked over so badly by this that I might not have been able to like make it back. And that's kind of a scary thought.
yeah, but
Like
like,
I have an accommodating job who like my boss understood when I told him. I have friends. I have like I still haven't told I keep remembering that I need like should probably tell my mom that I don't live at that fucking address anymore. But I keep forgetting to. Like this is why I didn't tell her I had a stroke for 6 months. I just she keeps dropping from my fucking mind.
yeah. Well, you can always tell her when you're getting ready, I suppose.
Yeah, it'll probably be for Christmas again. That's what happened with the stroke.
Yeah.
I did that shit during the Christmas dinner. Not popular. Like with mom, my fucking brother thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's. It's not normally something that you would probably hear, around a Christmas dinner. But
No,
you
but
know,
you gotta keep it true.
yeah, yeah, that is true. You know,
Uh, yeah, it's a bit weird because like I don't. I've had to cancel a bunch of dates because I don't want to like meet people when I'm not living it by myself. Like it would be weird. I live in a room here that I rent for like 1,000 crowns a week. I'm not going to fucking bring some stranger here, which is sad because I miss dating. But we'll sort that whole thing out when we get to it.
yeah, absolutely. All that fun can begin as soon as you are settled in at your new
Yeah,
place. So yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like I say, if I mean, I think I said this to you in a message via DM,
Uh,
but we can always skip next week if you need extra, if you want to take a break.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm more than happy to do that because I've been taking
uh,
advantage of that extra time off myself. So
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. Yeah, well, I like to like it feels good to like get this shit back on.
yeah,
It's just, but for the last 2 weeks, I literally didn't know where I would be on Thursday, so
yeah,
like I couldn't. Uh, that's
yeah.
I could probably go to like. Do they still have internet cafes? It would be cool to do one of these from an internet cafe. I don't think they still have internet cafes. That seems really fucking outdated.
I think well, this I would at least hope there'd be a few around, but
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
there are a lot
Yeah,
of people who don't have internet. Sorry, I forget that. Like, we in Sweden, we kind of took this whole internet as a human right thing to heart, so everyone kind of has it.
yeah. I don't
It's weird.
think.
It's weird when a country does something good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. Like when our government does something good, like it's a brief happiness, but then it immediately is overshadowed by something else that they've fucked up over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's government for you. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, the so this one is regarding n- no thanks. Shout out Erin Reed.
Oh yeah, she's cool.
This is on her blog, erininthe.morning.com.
Oh,
Do
cool.
check it out. This is on the UK Secretary uses emergency powers to criminalise possession of puberty blockers.
Fucking hell.
So on
How is
May,
this a
yeah,
fucking emergency?
so on May 31st, so basically about 2 weeks ago at this point, it's currently the 13th of June.
Yeah.
Letters went out from NHS England to parents of trans youth, stating that they must immediately stop taking puberty blockers, which one is dangerous, so never do that, and that
Yeah.
possession will be considered a crime.
It's fucking the dumbest shit I've heard. How is it? Why? Like other than fucking over trans people, why? Why would it be a crime?
I don't know. So um,
I'm
the
not a bag.
letter follows an edict issued by Conservative Secretary of State for Health and Social Care Victoria Mary Atkins, and also mandates that transgender youth who obtained their puberty blockers through private doctors must discontinue their medication. How about no?
Yeah. Fuck off.
That's up to their doctor, and if they do that, then it has to be in a safe manner. You can't just
Yeah.
immediately stop it. Um,
Yeah.
This letter and edict mean that the United Kingdom now has some of the harshest policies targeting transgender youth of any liberal democracy in the world.
That sounds nice. That sounds like a place you want to be in. That's like that's a spot you want to be in on one of those lists, isn't it? Like you like love the
Oh
top
yeah,
spot.
absolutely. Yeah, come on in.
Fucking hell, you don't have to go for gold in the Be the Worst Person Alive competition.
No. Now on the May 29th, Atkins announced on Twitter, "Today I have taken bold action to protect children from following a cash review." No, you
Great
haven't.
Atkins.
Using emergency powers to ban puberty blockers for new treatments of gender dysphoria from private clinics, and for all purposes from overseas prescribers into Great Britain. Following the announcement, she linked it to an edict declaring an emergency prohibition on puberty blockers in England, Wales, and Scotland.
Fuck.
The prohibition relies on a decades-old law that allows for the emergency prohibition on medications without the need for a full legislative process. No vote was taken on the edict, and
Well,
the
that would be
order was issued just before Parliament dissolved for the general election, meaning it could not be overturned.
fucking hell.
Yeah,
You
that was
Oh my God.
Yeah. According to UK-based advocate Trans Safety Now, the last and only time such powers were used was in response to deaths among users of a herb found in some Chinese medicine in 1999. John Mohammed, who leads the Good Law Project, stated about the use of these powers. It is breathtaking that tens of thousands of loving families are going to be criminalized by law
Yeah.
made by a minister, never approved by Parliament,
Yeah.
subject to
That's
no consultation, and the media is not reporting it.
one could call that weird and sad. Another one might say that it's a fucking affront. Like who why are they so transparently shit?
That's politicians. Like even
Yeah.
it's like even when they try and be a pound and be all fun, it's
Yeah.
like you like you're not being as a pound as you think. Like
Yeah.
you can still read you.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, oh we're being all fun. No, you're not. On
Wait, well,
Friday,
that's like the fun politician is that's a fucking monster.
yeah,
Like those are fucking psychopaths, all of them. Not fun politician. No, you're not a fun person. You became a politician, you fucking idiot.
yeah,
Yeah, fucking rock on. Like,
yeah.
do you know who were the ones who were the coolest people when I was a kid? Yeah, it was the fucking like people who wanted to become politicians. Those were the people we looked after. Those got laid a lot. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Politicians are the new rock stars.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't get me started on the amount of times our politicians have been caught at raves, getting drunk and doing drugs.
Oh yeah, it's like that's a nice way to get me to possibly vote for them at least.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
um,
you're not a fucking dorky bitch.
yeah,
Have
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
This is
Following,
this is why I don't vote.
yeah, following the announcement, Lee Hurley of Trans Rights released a copy of a letter sent to families on the NHS waiting list for puberty blockers. The letter indicates that those receiving puberty blockers from the NHS can continue taking them. However, given the enormous wait lists, a substantial number of families opted to get their puberty blockers through private practitioners registered in the European Economic Area or
Which is
Switzerland.
completely which is completely reasonable.
Yeah, a fully legal practice in the United Kingdom. For those receiving their care through those systems, the letter states you will need to stop taking GnRH analogues unless you are newly prescribed them by a UK registered doctor, nurse, or pharmacist. These
Newly prescribed them
medications,
as well. You need to be newly prescribed them.
yeah, uh,
Fuck.
you will need to stop taking GnRH analogues unless you are newly prescribed them by a UK registered
Yeah,
doctor, nurse, or pharmacist. These medications can be safely stopped and you do not need to be weaned off.
good.
And for those of you who don't know, Erin Reed is a trans woman herself, and she does amazing work, and she's an amazing activist within our own community. So I do highly suggest you check out
Uh,
her blog and give her a follow on Twitter, because she does amazing work.
yeah.
As well
She's what?
as well does her partner as well. She's an
Oh,
amazing,
I don't know who they are, I think.
yeah,
Um, she's one of those reasons why I hate to be called an activist. Because like she does sexual work and
yeah,
I'm just a fucking cunt.
yeah,
Uh, like I that's one of the things that will actually like get me a bit uh, ticked off
yeah,
on Twitter is when they start calling me a fucking activist. I'm not a fucking activist. I'm a dickhead. Do not mix me up with people doing important work.
exactly. Critically, the edict does not only target providers, it also targets patients and their families. The letter states it would also be a criminal offence to possess these medicines, where the individual had reasonable cause to know that the medicine had been sold or supplied in breach of the ban. When
Uh,
asked about this provision, Joe Marham stated it basically says puberty blockers are being treated like other illegal drugs like cocaine and heroin. He then followed up with applicable law, which indicates that those who violate the ban could be imprisoned for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, after treating it like drugs.
Yeah. The decision comes following the publication of the cash review, a highly politicized document developed with a secretive list of advisors, some of whom were later found to be meeting regularly with political operatives of Republican Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida. These meetings were in support of a ban on transgender care in the state. One advisor, Dr. Whitaker Kautiala, held numerous meetings with DeSantis, handpicked anti-trans doctors, such as Dr. Patrick Hunter of the Catholic Medical Association. According to court documents challenging actions taken by Florida targeting transgender care, even Dr. Cass herself attended at least one of these meetings. Well, of course she did.
Yeah.
She helped fucking DeSanctimonious write the fucking legislature about regarding the don't say gay bill.
Yeah.
Um, both the Endocrine Society and the American Academy of Pediatrics have since issued statements rejecting the Cass review, stating medical evidence, not politics, should inform treatment decisions.
Good.
The actions being taken by the United Kingdom government are extreme among liberal democracies. I wouldn't quite say we're liberal, but okay. In the
Mm.
United States, no state has explicitly criminalized the possession of gender-affirming care medications. The closest any state has come is Texas, where in 2022, Governor Greg Abbott, who we covered probably about 3 weeks ago or whenever at this point,
Yeah.
uh, attempted to
Oh yeah. The clown.
investigate, yeah, to
Yeah.
attempted to investigate the parents of transgender youth for child abuse. These investigations were subsequently blocked in court by Texas judges who are notably quite conservative.
Oh.
Yeah, there may still be more avenues to access medications in the United Kingdom. The order does not cover hormone therapy, for instance, so some transgender youth who are taking puberty blockers could potentially opt to transition to hormone therapy earlier than planned. Additionally,
Yeah.
puberty blockers can be administered by injection or implantation, which might provide alternative methods for those affected.
Yeah.
Gender GP, one of the largest private providers in the UK of transgender care, said in a statement, "We know that the interference in medicine and healthcare by the government will lead to serious harm for millions of patients and even death, including those within the trans community. We remain
Yeah.
committed to working with the government and the community to find solutions to prevent harm wherever it exists." And
Yeah.
the last bit is Joe Mohan of the Good Law Project stated of a potential challenge to the edict. An urgent legal challenge is being prepared to these highly irresponsible regulations, and we will help to fund it, requesting donations to support the challenge. As of noon on May 31st, 2024, the crowdfunder was 70% funded.
Yeah.
So they
That's
are
good.
crowdfunding to obviously challenge the
Yeah.
findings.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's, that's something at least. It's always
yeah,
good when people are fighting back against fucking dickheads.
yeah.
Uh, I wish them the best of
Also,
luck.
yeah. Also, I didn't put it in, but Leah Thomas
Yeah.
has lost her appeal
Oh.
against the
Oh
Olympics.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So
That shit.
so she's not able to compete because she tried to appeal it.
Yeah.
And they basically said no.
Yeah, expectedly.
Yeah. Um, like I swear, like I look at our country,
Yeah,
and I look at America, and I'm like,
yeah.
the way the UK is going, we're not going to be far behind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No,
It's
no,
like
yeah,
it's
like
getting, yeah,
you're doing the fucking speed run.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
it's getting
and it's
ridiculous.
like it's really fun. It's really weird also seeing like Brits do it with the same bravado as Americans do. Like
Yeah,
Brits are not usually people for bravado. Like us Swedes, we are quiet, bitter, and mean-spirited cunts. We are not.
yeah,
But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird time we're living in. Wish, wish it was another one.
yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ. But
yeah,
I'm positive. I am still. I'm a fucking optimist. Uh,
yeah. I'm hopeful.
yeah,
Uh, it my positiveness is being tested, but
yeah,
I still remain hopeful. That things will work itself out. It might not work
yeah,
fast, but yeah.
yeah. Like, I think like I need to be like, if I wasn't hopeful, I think like, what fucking option do I have? Like, become
Exactly.
desperate or not do anything? Like, fuck
Yeah,
that shit. So I kind of need to be like optimistic about like people not always wanting me to be dead.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Right. This next one is all about a Twitch streamer called Nick Mercs.
Oh
Because
yeah, I saw this like today.
yeah, he was slammed because he said in a stream that there's no such thing as trans people.
Then what the fuck is speaking right now, you dumb bitch?
Twitch and Kick streamer Nick Podchef, better known online as Nick Mercs, is causing
Well,
seriously backlash. Like seriously, can whoever wrote this article, can you seriously fucking check your articles before you publish them?
people don't you do that anymore, do they?
No,
Like
like for
people
fuck's sake.
just such shit.
Yeah,
It's like the typos galore. It's like if I've written the fucking articles.
yeah. It's like
And like I know that I do my typos. I
yeah,
I'm fully aware of that shit, but I write on Twitter, not on fucking real news site.
yeah. Like so. Anyway, the 33-year-old YouTube personality who co-owns esports business FaZe Clan and is best known for playing games including Call of Duty, Warzone, Fortnite, Battle Royale, and Apex Legends, went viral
That's
earlier
the
this week on 11th of June for going on a vicious rant about the trans community. He
yeah.
claimed that those who believe in trans people are living in, quote, little dreamland. There's no such thing as trans people. That's something you created. He told his followers during a gaming live stream. So
Oh,
have fun in your little dreamland, but that shit is
he's
not
saying this
even
while you're
real.
playing with toys.
Yeah,
I'm finding you
um,
little dreamland. I'm just going to like I play video games, but I don't pretend like I'm a fucking like it's always funny when people like are calling someone else like child and then while they're at like
yeah,
while the fucking his job is to play.
yeah,
Like he can never say anyone else lives in dreamland. His
yeah,
job is made up. Like his literal fucking job. If if you ask a really fucking stupid kid, like what do you want to be when you grow up? They will. I was like, I want to play video games, and then you want to punch that cunt in the face because you're a fucking idiot. That's this person.
yeah, absolutely.
They're the
Um,
dumbest kid at the playground.
yeah. Um,
I don't want to punch children.
yeah. So he said, but that shit is not even real. Then he said, let me bring it down for you. I think he means let me break it down for you.
Yeah.
All right. Penis, dude, vagina, girl, done. Don't come in here with fucking trans shit. Bruh,
How do you pick people
ridiculous.
up? How does this cunt pick people up if he knows their genitals before he picks them up? They're very, I've very seldomly seen someone's genitals before I see them naked.
Exactly.
Like it has happened, but like that's very much not common.
Yeah. Shortly after the
It,
clip was posted on X, with a slew of internet users condemning the comments. Um, Obviously, he did the typical thing that all transphobes do. They
yeah,
doubled down. Yeah, despite
I
the
don't know why
comeback
that
online,
seems like such a good tactic, because it's
yeah,
fucking not.
the gamer, who has more than 10 million followers across social media channels and 7 million followers on Twitch and Kick, doubled down on his remarks. So he makes a lot of money playing
Oh
games
yeah,
for a living. Whereas, listen, if that's your passion, go for it. If you can
oh
make
yeah,
a
fucking
living,
dude, he's
awesome.
great, but don't claim people live in fantasy land when you literally do.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
my
feel,
thing. Like,
yeah,
fuck it, I would love to get paid to play video games. No, I wouldn't,
exactly.
because that would make them my job, and I
And
always
that's
hate my job.
yeah,
But
and that's one of the biggest problems that parents are facing right now. Because a lot of
uh,
kids who watch YouTubers like Nick Merckx or whatever, they all want to become they all want to become famous on YouTube because they don't want to work a real job.
that's such a fucking nightmare as well, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
people have stopped like idolizing celebrities and started idolizing fucking losers with a webcam.
yeah,
Like, I'm not saying the other one was good, but at least there was something to differentiate them. They
yeah,
were the celebrities. Like, the entire this type of celebrity worship and like idolatry and like just fucking viewing them as gods, that doesn't work in a culture that has like democratized celebrity, because then all of a sudden everyone is just fucking part of the raised up group, which is fucking weird. Like,
yeah, yeah.
and then we have people like me who's a bit of fucking hermit.
Yeah, it is a bit strange.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in quoted commas, I feel a certain way about all of that, and I've said my piece. And I'll remind these effing people that again, the little dream fantasy bullshit that they're living in is not real. He said in a kick stream on the 12th of June. It's
Fucking dumb.
like you like whatever.
Like,
And
why do
that
you care?
that's the one thing I'm always, you know, it's like, why do you care? Like, exactly, why do you care? Why does it bother you?
Yeah. Like,
Like he's married, he's got a kid, like, just live your life.
yeah, and it's not like I'm not going to manifest outside of your bedroom just to scare you, because I know trans people make you icky. Just why are
Yeah,
you such a little bitch?
yeah, it's like, and not,
You're such a fucking loser.
yeah, and not everybody has to dance to their tune. That's not
Uh,
how that works.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you said your piece. Your piece was shit. Now we're telling you why. It's
yeah.
not like I've never fucking understood how like it's a
Yeah. He continued by stating that he doesn't care whether it's Pride Month. He will continue to speak his mind. But you
oh
can
yeah, I
speak your
definitely
mind.
just
You can,
stop just because
uh, you can speak your mind all you want. But if you're gonna
yeah.
talk crap, then people are gonna call you out on it.
I don't see why people are really fucking like I have my right to say what I want, and then it's really bad at knowing that other people have that right as well.
Yeah, it's a two-way thing.
It's really funny Like this happens so much when I argue with people because I tend to not actually comment on their insults or anything unless they're good. Because I don't react like you've maybe seen like for example, I never correct anyone if they misgender me. The reason I don't do that is because like I want to focus on other things. But they are so fucking bad at it that they will have to like start bringing it up like, oh, don't you feel bad about this? Like, no, I don't care. uh but then they also start saying like, I have the right to say this. I'm like, yeah, I've literally not tried to do anything against you. I've just told you you're a cunt. Like, it's so weird. It's like so they're so protective. They're so defensive. I mean, they're so defensive.
Yeah, you always are. You know,
Yeah.
because obviously, because obviously Nick Merck is obviously American, so he's like, oh, I'm utilizing my free speech. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
utilize your free speech, but they
it's
also
like,
come with consequences.
yeah, like people thinking you're a fucking idiot. You're not allowed people. You're not owed people liking your fucking shit.
Exactly,
Look, I do fucking great art, and I'm an unknown artist. Like, who fucking cares? It's not a right to be loved.
exactly. You know. Anyway, he then went on to say, you don't get to go around point your finger at people's chest and say, hey, you live in my world, you think the way I think.
But
You
that's you
believe
doing it right now, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, you believe the way I believe. No, 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 that's not how that works. Mm.
So, are these people like blind to consistency? Do they not understand what the concept fucking is of being like logically consistent in your opinions?
I don't think he even has a fucking brain, to be honest.
Because that's like really important to me. If I have an opinion that I realize clash with like the rest of my like worldview, I need to find a way to adjust that. Otherwise, I'm going to go fucking crazy. How do these people live with the cognitive dissonance?
Yeah, it's like this line here. I don't need people to agree with me, but it sounds like you do.
Yeah, you fuck.
I don't need an echo chamber bullshit. You live in one because that's what transphobic people do. They live in a bubble.
Yeah, they really do. It's such a
It's
bubble.
it's the way my wife and I feel. So you're speaking for your wife.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
I
how?
don't
Is
care about
it?
your.
Yeah. Is it how
I
your
don't care
wife?
about your cunt wife.
Yeah. Is it how your wife feels? Does she
Yeah,
feel that way, or is it
yeah, like,
because you're trying to
yeah,
be macho and be misogynistic and think that
yeah,
because you think that way, that automatically means that your wife
yeah.
thinks the same way? No. Don't
And like, I'm sorry, but your wife married a piece of shit. Her judgment is clearly wrong.
exactly. And I feel sorry for their child
Yeah,
because but anyway, that's. I'm not going to read the rest of that because I can't be bothered. Nick Merckx, not that you'll watch this, but you're fucking dick.
yeah, you really are. Hope you cry yourself to sleep at night, you fucking bitch.
Well, I don't watch. I've never watched this stuff, but he kind of
Yeah, me
ranges a
neither.
bit.
He whinges.
Yeah, he ranges.
Yeah,
He ranges a lot at the screen.
I haven't, I haven't heard his fucking voice, so I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Um.
I actively, I disavow Twitch streamers,
Yeah.
like just as a concept.
Yeah. I do have Twitch, but I don't
Yeah,
stream on there. I just watch other streamers that I follow.
yeah. I
Um.
don't, I don't, I don't behold anyone to my weird judgments but
Yeah.
myself. I have so many weird, like, oh, this makes you a fucking loser if you do it. And I don't give a shit if other people do it. It's just that I will refuse to do it like wholeheartedly because I've decided that if I do, I'm a loser. I'm a deeply troubled person. Uh,
Yeah. We all are to a certain
yeah,
extent. But yeah.
you gotta do it with style.
Yeah. Right. We've got two more topics to
Yeah,
get to go through, and then I think we'll obviously have a brief chat afterwards, and then we'll end it there. So
Cool.
a trailblazer has unfortunately passed away. Um, so this is
Who?
um Lynn Conway,
Oh,
trailblazing trans computer scientist, dies 86.
oh, she was great.
Um,
That's good. Like it's good that she got to be old. I'm
yeah,
happy she I'm happy she died old. Like this is the trans like okay, like I'm happy we don't sure we're reading about a dead trans person, but it's a good dead trans
yeah,
person who should be like happy for the life she had. But that's good.
yeah. Lynn Conway, a trans American computer scientist, best known for her work on microelectronics, had died at 86
Oh,
years old.
jeez.
The former IBM and Xerox PAC engineer reportedly passed away in her home in Jackson, Michigan, on Sunday, 10th of June, following complications due to a heart condition, according to her husband, Charles Waters. So I was by her side the entire time and was holding her hand when she passed. He said in a statement, "I don't know what I would do without the love of my life." A computer engineering pioneer
Oh,
of the 1960s and 70s, Conway revolutionized microchip electronics in a way that made modern computers and electronic devices possible. Her work on machine cycles in supercomputers at IBM was integral in creating the first superscalar processor computer, a computer that handles instructions through processing thread. While
what a
working
fucking shame.
at IBM, she was fired in 1968 after revealing her intention to transition. IBM eventually apologized for firing her 52 years later in 2020, while also admitting that her research breakthroughs gave way to their own success.
Huh? Yeah.
52 years for an apology.
That's that's fucked. Other than that,
A woman that you
cool
owe,
girl.
a woman that you, a, a woman that
Oh
you
yeah.
owe a lot to. Not for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, your entire fuck like company.
Uh, being
Yeah,
one
that's
being one of the first Americans to undergo modern gender-affirming care, Conway was a steadfast activist for LGBTQ plus rights, as well as an advocate for women in male-dominated fields such as computer engineering or STEM. Lynn Conway's example of engineering impacts and personal courage has been a great source of inspiration for me and countless others. Lynn A. Conway, collegiate professor Michael Wellman, said following the news of her death. So
huh.
yeah, I was privileged to know her as a colleague and honoured to hold a collegiate professorship in her name. Yeah, so her legacy will live on as it
Oh
should.
yeah, it will.
Uh,
That's great.
Born in White Plains, New York in 1938, Lynn Conway's early life was defined by crippling gender dysphoria, which she began experiencing at a young age. She entered MIT in 1955, but ultimately dropped out over her attempt to transition between 1957 and 1958, which was incredibly difficult due to hostile anti-LGBTQ plus climates of the 1950s. After living in San Francisco for several years, she enrolled at Columbia University in 1961, where she received a bachelor's and master's degree in electrical engineering after graduating 2 years later. Conway was eventually recruited by IBM in Menlo Park, California, eventually dubbed Silicon Valley, to work on various projects, including what would become the world's fastest supercomputer at the time.
So fucking
Things
weird.
became sour, however, after she attempted to transition, following a consultation with pioneering gender affirming care researcher Harry Benjamin, who revolutionized French healthcare in the 1960s. Despite initially being supportive of Conway's transition, even changing her name on company records, IBM eventually made the decision to fire her based on her gender identity alone. Oh, so not the mere fact that she gave way to your success. Oh,
Oh,
so
no.
okay,
Fuck that. Fuck that. We need to toss
yeah,
her out because
and
we
so
want her to
yeah,
be a she.
yeah, and so yeah, that's Lynn Conway there in 2003.
Oh,
Um,
this is such a
being
fucking heartwarming story.
Yeah, far be it from being discouraged from the hiccup, Conway eventually made her way back into the computer engineering industry, completely obscuring her identity and past as a way to work in the field without
Hmm,
judgment. By the
yeah.
1970s, Conway had quickly climbed the ranks across computer engineering and was eventually recruited by Xerox Palo Alto Research Center Park in 1973. There she made some of her biggest contributions to microchip design and research.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that was
People are so fucking cool.
A Conway. So yeah, so to all you people out there who love your computers and all of that, that you have Lynn A Conway to thank for that, and many other women who followed her path.
And as we know, as people do love their computers.
Yeah. If
Aside from
not,
me, I fucking hate the thing. But, you
yeah,
know, once again, weird.
yeah. So that's Lynn Conway, and the
That's great. This was
final
good.
one.
Thanks for this.
No problem. It's loud. No, it's fun. It's fun to try and mix things up because obviously, with the shit show that's going on, I don't want I don't
Yeah.
want to be fucking doing this every week, getting fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
But
Need to think about the blood pressure.
yeah. Um, but the last one that we're going to cover is we're going to remember the 49 lives violently stolen in the Pulse nightclub shooting 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Oh, fuck. We're, we're digging deep to find a mystery this time.
yeah. So let me share screen. That yeah. So remembering the 49 lives violently stolen in the Pulse nightclub shooting 8 years on. I can't believe 8 years have gone like that. Um, but yeah, so
That's fucking.
um,
That feels
so
like that feels like a thing that happened like in ancient times,
yeah,
as well as something that happened like yesterday.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Like the way I recall that fucking thing is just fucking weird.
yeah,
Oh fuck. That's a lot of people dead.
yeah. So around 320 people were inside Port Nightclub, a popular LGBTQ plus venue, in the early hours of the 12th of June 2016, when a 29-year-old man entered the building with two guns. The venue was hosting a Latin night at the time, and most of those present were Latinx. Um, uh, as the man opened fire, those inside the Post nightclub called and texted friends and loved ones, spreading appealing for help. And then at 2:09 a.m., a chilling message was posted to the venue's Facebook page: "Everyone get out of Pulse and keep running."
Oh,
Shortly after 5 a.m. that morning, the gunman was shot dead. 8 years on, the mass shooting in the Pulse nightclub shooting remains the single deadliest attack on the LGBTQ plus community in the history of the United States. The event of that night
That's fucked.
sent shockwaves through the LGBTQ plus community and all across the world, and news spread that 49 people between the age of 18 and 50 had been shot dead. Um, in the years that have elapsed, families, friends, and loved ones of those who died have worked hard to make sure that those who had their lives cruelly cut short will never be forgotten. Each year in June, vigils are held in Florida to remember those who were lost. This year's anniversary comes after a rash of mass shootings across America and amid renewed calls for gun reform. They always do this every year, say, oh, renewed calls for gun reform, but they never do it
Yeah.
because it brings them in billions.
And then they say like, oh, but we need to focus on mental health instead, but never do that either. Like if they did that, I'd be cool. But
Yeah,
it's fucking
yeah,
cunts.
absolutely. Following a number of mass shootings, including one at his school in Uvalde, Texas in May 2022 that left 19 children, 2 adults dead, calls for gun reform have become even louder across the US. Survivors of the shooting have for years used their voices to demand change, and many are growing weary. In quotes, I'll believe it when I see it because we have been screaming for this for mega years. Orlando Torres
Yeah.
told My News 13, following the shooting near Uvalde, it's a shame, look what it had to take, the latest shootings, innocent little children that were 9, 10 years old. Fellow survivor Patience Murray shared her frustration with The Guardian, saying, we've had so many survivors, so many families that have been left behind, and they tell their story, and they're vulnerable, pouring their hearts out to the leaders, and then nothing happens. Leonel Menendez, 43, opened up about the long-lasting effects of that traumatic night in an interview with the New York Post in 2021. As the world marks the 5th anniversary of the shooting, I can't hear on my left side, and I use a hearing aid. I lost some of my vision, Menendez said.
Yeah.
I was pretty much a miracle, but my recovery has been long and hard. He added, lawmakers should make it so that not just anybody can own a gun. Our gun control needs to be more strict.
Yeah.
Um, who were the victims of the Orlando Pulse shooting? On the 8th anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting, we are sharing the names of those who lost their lives to ensure that they are never forgotten. So, Stanley Almodovar, III, 23, Amanda Alvia, 25, Oscar A. Aracena Montero, 26, Rodolfo Ayala Ayala, 33, Alejandro Barros Martinez, 21, Martin Benitez Torres, 33, Antonio D. Brown, 30, Dowell R. Burt, II, 29, Jonathan A. Camoy Vega, 24, Angel L. Candelaria Padro, 28, Simon R. Carrillo Fernandez, 31, Juan Chavez Martinez, 25, Louis DeCande, 39, Corey J. Connell, 21, Tevin E. Crosby, 25, Frankie J. De Jesus Velasquez, Bianca D. Drayton, Mercedes and Flores, Peter and Gonzalez Cruz, Juan Herrero, Paul T. Henry, Frank Hernandez, Miguel A. Honorato, Javier Jorge Reyes, Jason B. Josephat, Eddie J. Justice, Anthony L. Loriano Disla, Christopher Lenanan, Brenda L. Marquez McCall, Jean C. Mendez Perez, Akra Monet Murray, Kimberly Morris, Jean Nieves Rodriguez, Luis Ocasio Capa, Geraldo Ortiz Jimenez, Eric Ivan Ortiz Rivera, Joe Rayon Paniagua, Enrique El Rios Jr., Juan Rivera Velasquez, Yamari Rodriguez Sullivan, Christopher J. Sanfillis, Xavier Emmanuel Serrano Rosado, Gilberto Ramon Silva Menendez, Edward Sotomayor, Shane E. Tomlinson, Leroy Valentin Fernandez, Luis S. Villalma, Luis Daniel Wilson Leon, and Gerald A. Wright. Those were the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Yeah.
All of our thoughts and prayers go to the families and friends who, I mean, God
Yeah.
only knows how they must feel as each year passes.
Yeah. I
Knowing what,
wonder if it would feel like, I'm not going to speculate about this, but like, I think I would kind of find some kind of weird sense of like, at least I'm not very much not alone in this. Like, there are, there are 49 other families, like, some weird kind of statistic, like, one person's death is tragedy, thousand is statistics, like that kind of thing. Like, it would make it easier for me to compartmentalize that part, I think.
oh yeah, absolutely. When you've got like, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not saying like it's, yeah,
After a tragedy, when a whole community comes together,
yeah,
you're not as alone.
yeah, exactly.
So
Like,
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I couldn't imagine how the parents, siblings, and all of that feel.
oh no,
Um,
that's fucked.
I mean, even though it was like 8 years ago, it still hits hard. So all of our condolences go out. Um,
Like, we had like a terrorist attack in 2000 and whatever. I don't remember which it was, but like the people still think about it, like four people died in that one, and like the guy was a dumbass, so he was bad at it as well.
yeah,
And that people are still fucked up about that from like over here. So I totally get it. If you,
yeah. Um,
yeah,
yeah. So when I do the thumbnail, I'm gonna obviously put the Pulse nightclub, and I'm gonna do something.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah. Um. So let me stop saying that. So yeah, that was our first episode back. Um.
yeah.
Things will
It
get
felt
back.
good to be.
Things will get back to normal very soon.
Yeah,
Like I say, we will be taking a break as and when, obviously, until
yeah,
Max's situation is sorted.
yeah,
So we'll try and do another one next week if possible, but if not,
yeah.
we'll skip. But yeah, thanks for
Um,
um listening. Do make sure to follow us on YouTube, hit that like button, hit the notification.
yeah,
We've got 11 subscribers so far
that's cool.
on YouTube, so keep up the support. Of course, follow
Yeah,
us on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts from. And yeah, um, by all
and
means,
remember, 5 stars reviews. I read them out loud. No questions asked. Whatever it says in them.
yeah, if
Make me say
you
something weird.
no, that's fine. Like, if you can give us, we've got 1 star review on Spotify. If you can maybe give us a few more on Spotify,
Yeah,
that would be awesome because it really helps us out. What will also help us out is if you obviously follow us on YouTube and
yeah.
leave us a comment.
And
Or two.
I'll be back to my pretty self. Uh, every once often. I said it to Torn before we started recording. I actually like have a fucking beard shadow right now.
Yeah,
That's the level of fucking not caring that I've hit this week.
yeah,
But it's cool. I don't mind it. I don't have much beard growth anyway. Like
yeah.
I'm good
Um,
with that. I'm very baby face.
yeah, I've kind of started doing a new thing where I try and um style my beard. Like
Uh,
I've kept the top part, but I've shaved the bottom part and I try and style it.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm
looks good.
trying a new look. But yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see
it
how
looks
long that
good.
lasts before
Oh,
I go full beard and I can't be bothered to shave it off.
yeah, but it's
Um,
fun to do like little ways to like pamper yourself. Like that's always good. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
it makes you if you have something that would make you feel like this would make me feel like I would look better in it, then it's going to make you look better no matter what,
yeah,
because that feeling, you can see that feeling on you.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
But yeah, and if you are confused and like, wait a minute, what they use in StreamYard? Yes, we were, but I cancelled that, and now we are on Zoom, which I think
I
is gonna be.
genuinely didn't know that was a subscription. Like I am so fucking, I'm so
Uh,
fucking not hot on how to do this shit. I'm
yeah.
so happy to have you.
The reason why I was paying for it was because if I went with the free one,
Yeah,
we wouldn't have been able to
yeah,
do it because I would have had to pay anyway. So I paid,
yeah,
but no,
yeah,
I found Zoom, which was cheaper and it's got a lot better.
yeah.
So we're gonna continue to use this. And so
Oh, yeah, it's
yeah,
been great.
yeah. I'll get used to it. Um, but yeah, that'll be it. Um, and so I hope everyone has a good weekend. Um, you know,
Yeah,
look after yourself, look after your mental health and all of that. And we will hopefully see you again next week. If not, we will keep you posted, or at least I will, because
yeah.
I think Max will be too busy trying to get everything sorted
Find a
out
place to live.
on her end. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. So we will
this will
see
be a fun
you
summer.
hopefully next week.
Yeah,
Bye guys.
bye.
Right. Let me stop.